Well, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. I got something at Blade Show that I'm going to share with you now. This is something new from the folks at Artisan and the folks at Ferrum Forge. Yes, it is. And of course, always remember rule number 9, always carry a knife, right? This is the Valor, and this is a cool knife. Now, I have watched this thing go from prototype to production, and it's excited everybody at Artisan. The folks at Ferrum Forge are very cool. This manages to keep a lot of the Ferrum Forge-ness without going too crazy. It's a nice big knife. It is well made. These are not out yet, although I think you can get them on the Artisan website. I'll post that link, but I don't think they're at other dealers yet. So keep in mind, this is basically the second week after Blade Show. So what is it? It is the 11th when I'm making this video. This will go up 3 or 4 days from now. But keep your eyes open, because this is a cool knife. Let's take a look. Right. So it's got this really interesting millwork through here, as you can see, right, that follows all along through an open fuller that runs to a closed fuller out the end of the blade. Right. It's got a beautiful swedge down towards the tip of the blade here. It is a nice thin grind, although it is not razor thin, but it is very slicey. The open construction means it's not that heavy. It is, as you can see, a frame lock, right, which means no lefty love. And I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it goes sometimes. It's got a little bit of milling right down here. Not on this side. They could have put some over here just for, I don't know, unity's sake. But anyway, it's got a backspacer that runs about halfway up the knife, and it dips. As you can see, it's visible back here just a little bit, right? And then it sort of tucks itself down into the handle. Now, when I first picked it up, I thought maybe the backspacer had slid in a little bit, but it turns out that's on purpose. And I'm cool with that, because it gives you just a little bit of grip back here without getting in the way up here. It's got some jimping right where your thumb lands, but of course, you know, for me, I come farther forward, but the way this blade is shaped really allows you to get your finger forward for close work, and of course, plant your thumb for back here. It's got a lovely forward choil, which means you can come really nicely forward, and of course, the shape of this thing means you get a fantastic grip. This is a marvelous pocket knife. Relatively clean blade. On this side, you've got the Ferrum Forge logo, right? And of course, the serial number and the S35VN, which is the blade steel. Action is marvelous. It's got a great little tink on the close, right? That is so good. Looks great closed too, doesn't it? Let's take a look at some specs, and then we'll do the size comparisons. Closed length is 1, 2, 3, 4.5 overall enclosed. It is going to chew up. Now we're going to add in that pocket, the flipper tab. You're looking at 1.5 inches. Yeah, a little over 1.5 inches at its widest, which is not too bad. It's got a lovely milled pocket clip. It's not entirely deep carry, but there's not a lot of knives sticking up there either. This is really nicely done. Deployment, we'll do the rest of the specs in a second. All right, the flipper tab, of course, you can flick it with the fuller. Can you thumb? I don't know, let me try. Yeah, I can't get my thumb, but you might be able to get your thumb in that and flip it open that way too. I can't. But you can spidey flick it, and you can, of course, use the flipper tab. Oh man, that's really good. All right, blade length on this guy, we're looking at 3 1/8 of cutting on just about 3 3/4 overall in length. Overall knife from tip to tail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 16th. Yeah, so about 8 inches. It's really nice. It really is. It's got some stuff that's more aesthetic than functional, like these matching grooves all along here, but that's kind of Ferrum Forge, right? If you want just a straight work knife, you can always get something like that. This is a little fancier, and yet, because it's Artisan, it is not out of reach expensive, which is really, really cool. Speaking of, let's do some size comparisons. Here it is against the 940. As you can see, it is not that much longer than the 940, but it is a lot more knife. Here it is against our old friend Bug Out. As you can see, it's considerably bigger than that. And here it is against the full-size Presidio from Benchmade, which is what we had a minute ago. And it is smaller than that, but you don't lose, yeah, because of the choil, right? But you get about the same overall blade length. It's a bigger knife. I really like the Valor. I like it so much that of all the other knives I could have picked up at Blade Show, and of course there are thousands, right? This is one of the ones that I saw right off the bat and made sure they held for me until the last day. Because it is really good. It just is. Let's get out the calipers, see what we're dealing with in blade stock. All right, way back here at its thickest, we are looking at 3.68 millimeters. It's a nice chunk of S35VN. It's not massive, but it's enough to make you feel secure. Comes down, as I said, it's a very tall blade. Go ahead and switch that over. What are we looking at? We are looking at, yeah, so the drop there is 1.2 inches, 1.202. So lots of room, right? So it comes down to a really nice edge. The handle at its thickest point, it's not a very thick knife. We're talking about under a ½ inch, so it rides the pocket very well, which is really nice. I am so happy they did this. I'm really happy that Ferrum Forge is working with Artisan, and I'm really happy that this is the knife they've decided to produce because it is both very cool looking and, of course, very, very functional, right? Comfortable, very slicey, great action. Clip's got, it's a little stiff maybe, but not too bad. It goes in and out of the pocket fairly easily, that I can tell you already. And it's got more than enough room there for even thicker pants. Of course, you can see the clip is screwed in from the back, so there's nothing showing there. It's just got a lot of really nice, well done features. They killed it with this. They really did. Let's go ahead and weigh it out. I'm curious. I think it's an ultralight knife, but it doesn't feel that heavy in hand either. Let's see where we fall out. 4.7 ounces. It's not unreasonably heavy. It's a little heavier than the STS AT here. Let's see. And a little lighter than a full-size Rat 1. So it's right there in the middle. What did I say? 4.7. So it's heavier than that ounce per inch that the really hardcore EDC guys like, but for me, this is a fairly lightweight and medium-sized knife. It goes very well in the pocket. It's on ceramic bearings. I'm just going to drop that over there. It's on ceramic bearings, which of course makes the action very good. We are locked up at just about 45%. I'm not sure that's going to show. There we go. Fit and finish is excellent. In short, the Artisan Valor, designed by Ferrum Forge, is a really, really nice pocket knife. It's almost retro in this day and age of micarta and really wonky blade shapes and all sorts of weird stuff. Just having a straight titanium and S35VN knife from a company that does that really well makes me very, very happy. And that's where we're going to leave it. Once again, this is the Artisan Valor, designed by Ferrum Forge. It is interesting to look at, comfortable to hold, and great to use. So if you are interested, I would not sleep on this. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the Valor here, feel free to ask down in the comments below. We'll see you next time. Take care, guys.